Hi, this is Christelle with part 2 of the scrying session for the full moon in Sagittarius, going from the 28th of May till the 3rd of June. And we, in the part 1, mentioned the traps that will be cropping up the entire week. I'm going to pull 3 more cards. Excuse me. Now, well, this is the Three of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. Now, why was I compelled to do a part 2? Let me, first of all, there was something that just caught my concentration and it made me go off of what I was doing before, and so I thought, let me close this right away, get my bearings, and then start again. And that's what I did. Now, this time around, I have the situation of fairly positive nature. This 3 of Cups celebration, this 10 of Cups, this family type happiness, and the 2 of Wands, which nonetheless is a confrontation. Now, I'm reading and scrying on that confrontation. It's a confrontation that is we talked about a person who was going to come up and they would be contacting us, and probably not directly. Some may be indirectly or directly, but in any case, we do not engage. I do still see that. I do still see that, but this time the session is bringing me to another type of route to take, and I'm having trouble reading the electricity. It's really electricity waves, the vibrations that I'm feeling, and the vibrations. On the one hand, I get a sense of gloom looming in the forefront, right before us. But then also at the same time, I get a sensation of glee, happiness. And the only thing I can say is perhaps that it is a matter, that surprise element that nonetheless will characterizes the nature of what occurrences this week. But still, there's something that I'm having trouble trying to weed through different vibrations that I'm getting. And like I said, not all positive and not all negative. Let me look at another stone, perhaps. Maybe I'll have a different take on what I'm looking at. All right, there's an element here, something to do with those around us, the engaging with others, all right? And I talked about the 45%. I talked about 45% of us and 55% of us, those who adapt to change and those who do not adapt to change willingly, or those of the 45% who of us who have a plan, a set plan, and adapt more readily, and those of us who do not, 55%, who are not disoriented but are not firmly implanted in a route. Here, and I also did say suggesting bounce off of other people when you have difficulty. Try to get feedback from other people, go toward other people. What I'm seeing here is just that. I'm seeing interaction with other people. Now, what is that all about? The interaction that's coming to the fore is a matter of going in, interacting, coming out. You still will want to be alone. As I said, I remember in the beginning of part 1, I said, this is a week when we are on our own, we're going it alone. Well, at the same time, we will find we'll need to interact with others to get their take on what is going on, to get their sensation of what the feelings we are, what are they made of, what is it that we're feeling. And this may take the shape of varying different encounters. We may not only have to speak to one person or one group of persons. We need to question others and inquire of other friends. There'll be a series, and I'm thinking here, I'm seeing 3 different encounters with people until you start to feel like you're getting your bearings in this week that has us on the lookout. You know, it's sort of on the lookout, and it is going to be a surprise. And the biggest surprise for me right now is having this blind spot. This is the first time that it has happened. There is definitely a blind spot, and there must be a reason for that. There must be a reason for not being able to know, not being able to orient, not being able to at least have some kind of an idea as to where our emotions will be lodged in the middle this week. And it is in the middle of the week. I'm looking at Thursday. I'm looking at the Thursday where that's going to be a day where we are literally faced with a challenge. Thursday, and that could be from Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Okay, so but Thursday is the key day, give or take a day, and it's going to be a challenge in some way. It will present as a challenge in different ways for all of us, but believe me, it will be first a surprise and then a challenge. Not necessarily a negative challenge, but a challenge that we didn't expect, a challenge that we didn't prepare for, and a challenge that we're unable to talk to others about before we stand or have to stand to the challenge. Ooh, this is extremely, extremely difficult to plumb, this sense of vibrations that I'm getting. And I have to say, when it's like this, my gut, as I was talking about in the first part, my gut tells me that it's time to put down my my crystals and just move on to do something else, because it seems that we are not meant to know more than this. So of course, if it's a surprise, the element of surprise will be a surprise. So there's nothing that Christelle Martinette is going to come up with to tell you a little bit about the surprise. So I'm, my hands up. I throw in the towel. This is it. Let's have a nice week. And who's afraid of the full moon, ladies and gentlemen? Until we scry together again. Bye-bye.